Uh, yo, see, sorry I'm late. Trying to learn this the system. Um, but all right, I guess I'm recording right now. I'm doing it right now. First time doing this joint, so I don't. Um, it says it says my video is not. What it says my resolution isn't good. Uh, I don't know. It's not even a video. It's just a picture though. All right, so yo, it's Herc live finally. Yo, oh man. Um, like I said, it's my first time doing this joint. I was trying to learn how to do the system, get the system up and running and stuff. I think I learned, got most of the stuff down, but when I want to, I don't see the thing to do, like to do like the panel joint. I think I don't know. I don't know where like when you do like the panel, like we let people come in and stuff, get talk and stuff. I don't see that. But anyway, I'm gonna start off. I wanted to talk about the that Wuhan virus, the coronavirus joint, and how it affects us. You know what I'm saying? Affecting black people. How it's dealing with us. You know, black and brown people. You know, we seem to get affected the most, and you know we gotta come up with solutions. You know what I'm saying? We gotta come up with solutions to you know handle to get our results. You know what I'm saying? Solutions for ourselves and not depend on people all the time. So I want to start this off. I want to play. I want to play this quick Tucker Carlson joint. So just listen to this real quick.
Global death toll of the Chinese coronavirus currently sits at almost 5,000 people. That's the official number. In Iran, officials haven't even confirmed a total of 500 deaths. That's what they're claiming. And yet satellite image suggests authorities are evacuating massive trenches to hold the bodies of victims. So the lesson there, and you knew this, governments lie. But they're not the only people who lie. As the death toll rises, it's important to never forget how we got here. This pandemic came out of China, and it came out of China for a reason. That's a country with poor health practices. It's a country where government officials deliberately covered up the early stages of the virus when it could have been stopped before it spread out of control. In fact, the outbreak may have begun not in a public meat market, but in a poorly run Chinese laboratory. Now, that's not our theory. Anyone who raises that theory on American television is attacked as a conspiracy monger. But this is a theory from a now censored Chinese paper. A draft paper posted in mid-February, scientists at the South China University of Technology suggested that the coronavirus outbreak began at the Wuhan Center for Disease Control, where an animal may have infected a researcher who then spread the disease outside the facility. The paper is explicit about this. We're going to quote it. The killer coronavirus probably originated from a laboratory in Wuhan, end quote. Now, we have no idea if that's actually true. But again, those were Chinese researchers making an evidence-based argument about the origin of this virus. That paper has since been taken down. No explanation has been offered for that, though you can guess. Instead, China, the same country that controls 96% of antibiotics we use in this nation, the same country that is warning to cut off drug exports to the U.S. to kill Americans, is now trying to hide the reality of where coronavirus came from. In fact, they're doing worse than that. The Communist Party of China is trying to blame the virus on America. Li Zhenjiao was a spokesman for China's foreign ministry. A week ago, Zhao attacked anyone who dared to link the virus to China.
Certain media say this coronavirus is a China virus. This is extremely irresponsible, and we firmly oppose that. We are still tracing the origin of the virus, and there is no conclusion yet.
That was last week. Zhao has evolved since then. Today on Twitter, he accused America of creating the virus. Quote, when did patient zero begin in U.S.? How many people are infected? What are the names of the hospitals? It might be U.S. Army that brought the epidemic to Wuhan. Be transparent. Make public your data. U.S. owes us an explanation, exclamation point. Keep in mind, these are the people, the Chinese leadership that our media class has allied with, has sucked up to for years, has made every excuse for endlessly. Even when China blamed the United States for a plague they unleashed, even when the Chinese government threatened to murder our citizens by cutting off drugs, our media continue to take their side. Watch this.
The president referred to the coronavirus as a, quote, foreign virus. And I think it's going to it's going to come across to a lot of Americans as smacking of xenophobia.
That was CNN's Jim Acosta, a poisonous moron. Amazingly, though, it was just 2 months ago, and we keep track, that Acosta was sending tweets himself about the, quote, Wuhan coronavirus. He hadn't yet received his orders from Jeff Zucker, who receives his from China, so that was okay. But
All right. I just want to pay a little bit of that joint for y'all to hear. Carlson, I mean, I'm not a big Tucker Carlson fan, so don't get me confused with him and stuff. But the thing was that, you know what I'm saying, he was kind of on point when he was talking about the virus. When we talk about the virus, and people always like, you're conspiracy theorists. You know what I'm saying? Just because you bring up the coronavirus being, or the Wuhan virus coming from Wuhan, which is true. It came from Wuhan. I mean, you know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? People want to catch feelings and stuff, but you know what I'm saying? We ain't got a problem calling, you know what I'm saying, the Ebola virus, the virus Ebola, because what? It comes from Ebola Congo, you know? I mean, Lyme disease come from what? Came from where? Lyme, Connecticut. So I think it's stupid, people catching feelings. Saying we shouldn't be calling it the Wuhan virus. We'll call it what it is. That's where it came from. That's where it started at. All right, and we just got to call it what it is. And when you look around, like when you look around on YouTube, you look at most of the videos, everybody, you know what I'm saying, agreeing with the government that it didn't start with them. It didn't start in China. It didn't come from the lab. Not that it didn't start China. It didn't come from the lab. That's what they're saying. That joint didn't come from no lab, the laboratory, and all that. You know what I'm saying? And I was kind of disappointed in saw that on TV, because I was, you know what I'm saying, I thought they would, you know what I'm saying, at least, debunk that bullshit, but they didn't. It's like, damn, y'all believe in everything the government says? I mean, come on now. You're supposed to know better than that. We're black. You don't believe everything the government says. And so, yeah, they talk about, it came from bats. It came from, the live market and bats and stuff, and which is not true, because it's the same thing like when they say, HIV came from, black people having sex with monkeys in Africa and shit. I mean, come on, man. Nobody believe that shit. Come on, really? So, I wanted to play that clip real quick, because he touched on a good point. You know what I'm saying? People are starting to immediately jump to, it's a conspiracy theory. When they saying, it came out of China, man. It came out of the lab, the Wuhan laboratory that they have, just like our CDC laboratory in America. It came out of their lab. And basically, Tucker was pointing out that a lot of the media people have special interests, like from Chinese, with the Chinese people, Chinese government, investors and stuff. A lot of people invest in these companies and stuff. So that's why you see a lot of people are not saying it. You know what I'm saying? It came from out of a lab. They try to say it didn't. It didn't come from a lab and all that stuff. But which is a lie because we know that they've been researching the coronavirus, which is funny, you know. They've been researching the coronavirus for years over there in China. All right, and so I'm gonna play another clip I got from this guy, Josh. What's his last name? Oh man. Let me get his last name real quick. But I got, you know what I'm saying? He points out, he goes into the research from, I believe, Harvard and like from British Columbia. They from their virology department, they broke down the coronavirus and looked at it. And Joshua Phillip, yeah. So they broke down the coronavirus, looked at it, and noticed that its origin, it couldn't come from an animal. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm gonna play it. Yeah, check
now. The word is out.
Must be examined. So first off, the New Zealand Herald reports, landmark study, virus didn't come from animals in Wuhan market. And it says, quote, the Mail on Sunday revealed that analysis of the coronavirus by specialist biologists suggests that all available data shows it was taken into the market by someone already carrying the disease. They say they were surprised to find the virus was already pre-adapted to human transmission, contrasting it to another coronavirus that evolved rapidly as it spread around the planet in a previous epidemic. It continues, the new research is clear in its finding. Quote, the publicly available genetic data does not point to cross-species transmission of the virus at the market. And that quote is attributed to Alina Chan, a molecular biologist, and Xing Jian, an evolutionary biologist. It continues stating their paper insists all routes for zoonotic, animal to human transmission, in this case from bats, must be examined. It says, the possibility that a non-genetically engineered precursor could have adapted to humans while being studied in a laboratory should be considered. Now, this study was authored by scientists from the Department of Zoology and Biodiversity Research Center at the University of British Columbia, the Fusion Genomics Corporation, and the Stanley Center for Psychiatric Research at the Broad Institute of MIT and Harvard. So I'll read a quote from the report now. It says the coronavirus, that is most closely related to SARS-CoV-2 is RATG13, a bat-CoV coronavirus that was identified at the Wuhan Institute of Virology and originally isolated from the Yunnan province of China. RATG13 shares 96.2 genome identity with the Wuhan HU1 SARS-CoV-2 isolate. It says the most closely related pangolin CoV, MP789, shares only 84.1% and 84% genome identity with Wuhan HU1. No evidence as yet points to the adaptation of SARS-CoV-2, the current virus we're dealing with, for human infection in pangolins or the transmission of SARS-CoV-2 from pangolins to humans. In other words, again, debunking the narrative from the Chinese regime that a pangolin may have been the intermediary species. And this report is notably again suggesting that there may not have been an intermediary species, at least not in the wild. They're saying that when the virus spread in the Wuhan seafood market, this Hunan seafood market, that it had already been adapted to humans. And so how did this bat coronavirus become adapted to humans before spreading among humans? And that's why they're pointing to the possibility that it may have come from a lab. As it states, even the possibility that a non-genetically engineered precursor could have adapted to humans while being studied in a laboratory should be considered. And notably, again, them stating that this RATG13 bat coronavirus that was from Yunnan province of China and was being studied at the Wuhan Institute of Virology, this laboratory everyone's talking about in Wuhan that was studying viruses, seems to be the closest match. And you
Yeah. So I found that very, very interesting when I came across that joint, and you know they was disproving that everybody kept saying how it couldn't come from the lab, and so the researchers at Harvard, but MIT, they disproved that. They proved that it had to come from a lab. There's no way that the virus could just be automatically adapt to humans. It just it doesn't do that. And they was he was quoting the percent of 98, it was like 96% a match for the human body. There's no way a virus from an animal is going to automatically make that adjustment like that on its own. So what they were saying up in that article they was reading was that it had to be engineered in a lab, and not necessarily like um, released on purpose. They were saying it wasn't they don't think it was released on purpose. They just think it was that it got out by accident. Yeah, definitely. The what's up, Lewis? I'm saying thanks for coming out, man. Yeah. So that's what they were saying. I don't know how to with the link at so you can add people, let people come in and stuff. I think I'm supposed to have another program for that or something. But I don't know. How you do that. But yeah, that's crazy how that everybody want to say it just naturally came from the market, when we know it didn't. When we know that they've been researching coronaviruses, for the past 10 years, or even more. You go back and you can find articles on them doing research over in China on coronaviruses. I'm trying to pull up. Why didn't it come up? Let me pull up this article real quick. Let's see. Come on. So I got several articles. I'm trying to share them joints, but I don't know why it's not coming on the screen. Damn it! I don't see anything. I'm trying to see if I can share my source. Wait. Display capture. I wonder. Okay. Got this. Defaults. Okay. That's coming up. All right. That's coming up. So yeah, population reduction. You're right. You're right. Let's see what's coming. Let's see what comes up. This article I got. All right. Yeah. All right. So yeah, I got several articles going back. For about 10 years, more than 10 years, about 15 years. You got these articles. This one right here says a mouse model for beta coronavirus subgroup 2C using a bat coronavirus strain HKU5 variant. they studying here. This one they studying showing they just been studying the Wuhan virus, for not the Wuhan virus for a minute, and this one goes back to 2014. There's another one over here. A mouse adapted SARS coronavirus caused disease and mortality in BALB C mice. This one talking about how the mice, when they get the virus, they die. And it's these. I mean, these are journals. These are journals that these doctors, all these researchers right here, that they've been doing, and they publish. But the one that I was like pissed about was this one right here. This one right here. Isolation and characterization of a bat SARS-like coronavirus that causes the ACE2 receptors. That uses the ACE2 receptors. And it goes into the SARS virus and the MERS virus, because that's what they get. The SARS, the MERS virus, these viruses, they have them in the lab, they playing around with them. But you come down here, and it says, our results provide the strongest evidence to date that Chinese horseshoe bats are natural reservoirs of SARS-CoV coronavirus, and that intermediate hosts may not be necessary for direct human infection by some bat SL coronavirus. All right? So it's right there. They right here. And that intermediate hosts may not be necessary. All right? They tell you that they don't need a host to transfer the virus from bats to humans. Intermediate. As they were saying, as he said in the report, they was trying to say that the virus came by way from the market, the food market. And so, it's this right here. They proven, back, this is what, 2002, 2003? They, wait, where's this come out? This one came out. This came out in, 2013, right here, 2013. Came here. So the whole article, they go through, how the human virus, the bat coronavirus could transfer directly to the human, without have an intermediary, and the virus. But they were saying like you were saying, the virus had to be adapted for human transmission and stuff. So it's crazy, man. Make a backup file for this dude. They might try to do it. I mean, I got my information all saved up, so I ain't worrying about that. But what I'm saying, I mean, the thing is, what I'm saying, it really hit our community, it hits black people hard, and we, what I'm saying, suffering the most. Black people, what I'm saying, Latino people, the Native Americans are suffering the most, and we keep depending on the government to come to our aid, when we should learn from history that you can't trust the government. You can't depend on the government 100%. They tell us that the sky is blue. You got to go outside and make sure that the sky is blue. They've been the government ain't always honest and stuff, and that's and they, as you can see, they get to us last when things happen. Reports that some of the doctors, they just letting black people die. In the they just let them die and stuff. So I mean, stuff like that is we have to. As I said, we can't depend on the government all the time, because it can't be trusted. We need our own institutions. We need our own laboratories to do research, and that's the problem. We don't have our own laboratories to do research and to to fight back. You know, we don't have our own stuff, and that's why I think that, you know, we have to, like, when we, you know what I'm saying, when our people graduate from college and they getting their degrees in, you know, chemistry and biology and all the science fields, you know, they have to be taught to, you know, we have to open up our own research facilities. You just can't go work for, you know, other people in their laboratories, because all they doing is, you're looking at it happening right now. You're seeing Chinese people, China releasing viruses, whether intentionally or by accident. You know what I'm saying? They got their own research lab. They searching viruses and how to manipulate viruses and what viruses can do to the human body. America got their own research lab, CDC, on manipulating viruses and what viruses can do to the human body and how it can kill people. But where black people, where's our research lab? There's no lab in Africa or any black country that's strong enough, powerful enough, to have the economics and resources to fight on the level of, you know what I'm saying, America, China, labs in Europe. And so at any moment, you know, they can release viruses that can attack us, attack our genes, because now they know how to target specific DNA. So now, you know, they can do that. So they can release viruses and bacteria and stuff that target specific DNA, black people's DNA, and that could kill us. And we don't have our own people researching and doing the work to fight back. You know, and just because you're working up in this university, you're working at NIH, you're working for the American government. I mean, you're working to maintain, you know, American superiority. You're not working to fight back, you know what I'm saying, on behalf of black people. And you see how the government acts when they're dealing with black people. They, you know what I'm saying, they get to us last, and everybody else comes first. So that's my whole thing, man. It's like, I feel like a lot of black people need to educate our children to have our own institutions, our own research laboratories that's dedicated to black lives, to saving black lives. We keep talking about Black Lives Matter, but you know, many people, they just want to work for government in these universities, when actually when you're working for the university, that's not your research. The research belongs to the universities, and most of the time the universities always selling it to the military. So we just helping, you know, to maintain our oppression. And it's stupid, and this cycle has to stop, man. We gotta stop this cycle. We have to fight back, you know, financially, economically, physically, and mentally. We have to, you know, produce kids that are scientists. You know what I'm saying? That they're going into the fields of physics and chemistry, mathematics, and biology. You know what I'm saying? It's coming out with the mindset that they're doing this for their people. I mean, that's what we got to do. But yo, that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted to talk about. I was hoping I could like had a panel, like I could open up the stream and stuff and have people come on, you know. But I don't think I did it right, where, you know, I could drop a link. And you know what I'm saying, I could, you know, have people come in and stuff and just talk about the situation and stuff. From the oppressor. That's right. Yeah, you're right, man. I mean, they do. I mean, when you in the universities, you know what I'm saying, if you graduate from the university, you know, I realize this, that most of the times black people that graduate from the universities, they graduate one or two ways when they come from out the universities. They either come out the university whitewashed, or they come out the university pro-black. That's that's it. The most of them that I've been meeting, you know, they truly, the ones, some of them graduate, they truly believe in the American system, you know. And then some of them, they graduate and they pro-black and they like, yo man, yo, fuck this shit. These motherfuckers, these some lying ass motherfuckers, man. You know, it's you come out one or two ways, and you know what I'm saying, and we not, and I think the problem is, yo, there's not too many of us coming out pro-black and wanting to work with black people and do stuff for our people. You know, just, you know, work with our people and stuff and support our people. You know, it's not enough people got that mentality. It all sounds good. You know, they make videos and say, oh, it sounds good, but when you ask them, you know what I'm saying, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? What's your goals? Their goals to get money. You know, I mean, want to protest and stuff. I think protesting is over with, man. I mean, damn, like, how long are we gonna keep protesting? I mean, you know. But yeah. But yo, hey Lewis, yo, thanks for coming out, man. I just wanted to bring that information up, man. That I found, that I seen, and I was kind of disappointed on the black channels on YouTube platforms. Ain't nobody bring this information up. You know, ain't nobody talk about how, yo, that shit came directly from the laboratories out of Wuhan, and you know what I'm saying, it's affecting us, and you know what I'm saying, and you know, and I remember Amos Wilson say that, you know, we you know, people always try to downplay conspiracy theorists. You know what I'm saying? And he said ain't nothing wrong with a good conspiracy theory, because if you do the research and you be prepared for the conspiracy theory, you know what, and nothing happens, then, you know, hey, you was just prepared. But if it happened, you know what I'm saying, you already prepared. It's not a downfall. You know what I'm saying? And so we got prepared. Our people ain't prepared, and that's why a lot of us are dying and stuff, man. That Black Lives movement was definitely I would say co-opted, and, you know, whatever. A lot of, you know, homosexuals, the gay movement was put into it, you know what I'm saying, and a lot of, I mean, you know, right? Don't get me wrong, I'm not hating on gay people and stuff, but I think it was kind of overshadowed. It kind of overshadowed the Black Lives movement and stuff. But you know, it was, I don't know, it was, you know, they really wasn't dedicated. You know what I'm saying? You can't prove it wrong, then it ain't a oh yeah. Right. But yeah, that's they created the virus. I knew the virus came out the laboratory the first time I heard it from it, man. Because that's all these people do, is play around with viruses. That's all they do. That's their whole job. It's just to play with viruses, deadly viruses. And it's just dumb. I think it's stupidity, it's dumbass mentality. You want to play fucking around with viruses and just to see what it does, how it affects humans and shit. I mean, what the fuck, man? This is the dumb shit. That's pisses me off, yo. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like I say, I don't want to be like, I don't trip off the LGBT community. I just like they, you know, trying to push it on everybody is the thing, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't be pushing the shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, god damn. You know, I tell people, like gay people, like, do you have any crackhead friends? You ain't got no crack, so I guess you're crackophobic, right? Shit. You ain't got no crackhead friends, yo, don't get mad at me if I ain't got no gay friends. I mean, what the hell? But yo, I'm gonna end it there, man, because I just wanted to bring that information up, man, and have our people, you know what I'm saying, thinking on that level, and stop, you know, stop sleeping and shit, man, because we gotta be on that level of thinking. And there ain't nothing wrong. It's nothing wrong with thinking that, you know, it came from a lab, and, you know, all right, so now what we gonna do about it? You know what I'm saying? And we ain't prepared to do anything about it, and you see how we just dying and shit. So, all right, so it's just brief joint. I'm gonna try to do another one, and hopefully, you know, I could have that link ready, do it right and stuff, man. All right, so I called it. Peace. Thanks for coming out, y'all. Thanks for checking me out.